Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Muhammad Abdullah and welcome back to the channel Ambitious Saving. In today's session, we are going to learn about the problems. We are going to solve the problems of the chapter Gravitation. Without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Moving on to the 13th question, we have a ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meters per second. Right, so for that reason, to explain this problem, I took two balls over here, and this is actually the same ball. This ball is being thrown from the ground. So this is the first state of motion. The ball is going to start from the ground here, and let me write down, this is the first state of motion of the ball. The ball is over the ground, and this ball climbs up the maximum height and reaches to this second point, this final position of the ball, right? Of course, in this condition, the ball actually climbs up and then becomes comes at rest and then fall back again to the ground. It is because when you throw something up, the acceleration due to gravity acts against the motion of the ball. That means it acts opposite to the motion of the ball, and hence the velocity of the ball continuously decreases to zero. It reaches the maximum height and the final velocity will become zero, and again it starts to fall back again. Right? So this is the scenario. I hope you understood it well. When you throw something, the velocity of the ball decreases. So here is the same case. The ball is being thrown and it started its journey from the ground, and this is that first position where the ball was, and here the initial velocity of the ball is, let me write initial velocity. We generally indicate the initial velocity of the ball as u. Initial velocity of the ball is given as 49 meters per second, which is given in the question here. And this ball reaches the maximum height, and let's take the height, the maximum height it reaches to be as displacement s. There is no problem because the height is length and displacement is also a kind of shortest length. Alright, the final velocity of the ball is zero here because the velocity of the ball continuously decreases as the acceleration due to gravity acting in opposite direction. So we take it as minus 9.8 meter per second square. I hope you know the value of this acceleration due to gravity. Now that you got all the terms, let me write down what the question is asking to find. Right, the first thing is the maximum height to which it rises. That means the question asks us to find, he's asking us to find the maximum height the ball climbs up. So we will write up maximum height h, nothing but s, equals to question mark, and in the second bit he wants us to calculate the total time in a sense what? The time taken to climb up and time taken to fall back. That means he wants us to calculate 2t, that is the total time to return back to the ground. Okay, we have understood the question very well. Halfway done. Now we have the formulas to write. You know that these formulas are for uniformly accelerated motion. Let's just write down the equations of uniformly accelerated motion. Those are v is equals to u plus gt and s is equals to ut plus half gt square, and we have v square minus u square is equals to 2gs. We have all the three formulas with us, and and there is a question for the students here. You please pause this video and write down in the comments that which among these three formula is best suitable to calculate the maximum height over here. I'm giving you a second of time. Pause the video, write down in the comment and play the video again. I hope you have done it, and I will be more happy to see your comments in writing the question number and writing the formula used to calculate the maximum height. Okay, let's just move on. The correct answer would be third one. Why? Because if you see here, you are required to substitute time value also, but as you know that you don't have time value and you need to find out for the second bit, you cannot use the second one. Yes, you can go with the third one. What's the third formula? V square minus u square is equals to 2gs. I hope you got this. Now let's substitute the values. We have value as v as 0, 0 square is 0 only, minus is minus. U is what? Initial velocity. How much is that? 49 meter per second square. As you have a square over the top, I always suggest you to please write the values in the bracket and then read and write the mathematical equation, so you will never miss any sign and the expressions and operands. So you can write equal to is equal to, 2 is 2 only, and what is g? G value is acceleration due to gravity, which is minus 9.8. S is we have to find. 0 is just gone, no need to worry. Minus is outside the bracket, so there is no effect of the square over the minus, and you can write the square as 49 into 49. To cut short and to make this problem easier, I'm not multiplying, I'm not doing the squaring here. And if you do this multiplication with the plus 2 to minus, it will become minus 2 into 9.8 into S. Now that you can see it easily, you can cancel this minus. The outside minus can be cancelled, minus minus got cancelled here. Since you need to find out the value of S, you can send this terms which are in multiplication with the S to the denominator, so it will come down like this. I can write 49 into 49 by 2 into 9.8 is equals to S. Now to make the calculation easier, you know that when you have the value in decimal, it will be tough for us little, so you can do one thing, just remove the decimal and add 10 over the top. So I am doing it out here. S is equals to 49 into 49 by 2 into 98, as I'm adding up the 10 over the top by removing the decimal from the bottom. No problem, I guess. Let's just continue. S is equals to 49 into 49. You can do one thing, you can cancel them. Let's do the cancellation. I'll do from here. 7 7s are 49, 7 1s are 7, 2 remaining, 7 4s are 28. 7 1s are 7 and 7 2s are 14. You got the cancellation. You can do one thing. You can multiply this 49 into 10. It will become 490. Let me write down here with the gap. S is equals to 49 into 10 is 490 by 2 into 2 will be 4. Now let's do the cancellation. 4 1s are 4, 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8, and you have 1 with you, and 4 2s are 8 again. You have 2 with you. You write down 2 at the sidewise, add decimal, it will be 0 can be added by adding the point, and 4 5s is 20, write down the 5 over here. So the S value, the maximum height, is 122.5 meters. I hope you understood the cancellation. This is just the first part of the problem. We have the second part to be solved. Let's go on to the fresh page and solve the total time. And to calculate total time, remember the given data we have is V0, U is 49 meter per second, and G value is 9.8 meter per second square. Right? Let's move on to that fresh page. We got the fresh page here. Values, let's write. U was 49 meter per second and V is 0, G was minus 9.8 meter per second square, and you have you have S is 122.5 meters. You need to find time. What are the formulas suitable? You know that the formulas were V is equals to U plus GT, S is equals to UT plus half GT square, and you have V square minus U square is equals to 2GS. Okay, now I in my sense, I suggest you to take this first formula. You can use the second formula to calculate this problem, to calculate time. So let me write down the first one. V is equals to U plus GT, and V is what? Final velocity, which is 0. I wrote it. Equal to is equal to, U is 49 meter per second. I'm writing up here. Plus is plus only. G is minus 9.8 meter per second square. What is the time? We need to find. Send this 49 that side, it will become minus 49 as it was in plus. And you have is plus minus 9.8 into T. You cancel this minus. Let me use the different color. T is equals to 9.8 comes down here. 49 by 9.8. You can do the simplest calculation. Do it in this sense. You write down 98, remove the decimal. One number you have to remove, and you add 10 over the top. Right? Now it is again 490 by 98. Cancel it with the 7 table. I hope 7 table is very well suiting this problem. 7 sevens are 49 and 0s is 0 only. 7 ones are 7, 2 remains, and 7 fours are 28. 7 tens are 70, 7 twos are 14. Time is equals to 10 by 2, and you cancel it. 2 ones are 2, 2 fives are 10. Time taken is 5 seconds. What is this 5 seconds? This is just the time taken for the ball to climb up. We wanted what? We wanted the total time taken for the ball to reach up and come down to the ground again. So that time will be time taken to climb up plus time taken to fall back. So 5 plus 5, it should be 10. So I can write total time taken to return back, to return to the ground is alright. I can write t is equals to t plus t, which is 2t. 2 into time is 5 seconds, which is nothing but total 10 seconds. I hope you understood the problem. Let me move on to the another one. Moving on to the next question, we have 14th question from the exercise Gravitation, and the question says a stone is released from the top of the tower of height 19.6 meters, and if you throw something, it is definitely going to fall down, and it is going to fall down because of the gravitation, you know. And let me draw a tower here. I'm trying to draw a tower like a building, and here is the earth, the ground, and okay, let me take up a ball. Let me draw a ball. I am picking up the ball from the tools available. Let me just take the shape. Here is the ball of the stone. Initially the ball is at the top of the tower, and then finally the ball reaches down at the ground. Okay, we are done. Let's just come to the question back. We are going to find out the final velocity. See, first please understand the case. Where is the ball starting from? The ball is starting from the top of the tower. You can write up 1 to indicate this is the first state of motion, and here is the final state of motion. I mean, most of the children thinks that when the ball comes down and falls down, the velocity of the ball will be 0. See, if I ask you a question, is it possible for us to jump from a tall building or a table or something like that and fall down with a 0 velocity? No, it is not possible. So we are actually not counting out the velocity after hitting the ground. We are counting out the velocity by which it hits the ground. It hits the ground with the maximum velocity, and in this whole situation the velocity will be maximum at the bottom, right, at the ground. Just when the touching at the ground, the velocity will be maximum. So this first state of motion is called as initial velocity. Let me write the data. Initial velocity, and this initial velocity is u is equals to 0. Why? Because you know, when something falls down, it falls down with 0 velocity when in the case of free fall. In the case of free fall, and this is that free fall case. Now ball coming down had actually coming down from the maximum height, some h, or you can take it as the displacement s. There is no problem here. The acceleration due to gravity acts positive because the ball is falling down in the downward direction, and acceleration due to gravity also acts in the downward direction. You can take 9.8 meter per second square, which is positive value. V is nothing but for us, it is final velocity, and this final velocity V is maximum, you know, right? We need to find out that final velocity, final maximum velocity. Okay, so let me use the formulas. We know we have formulas. Those are V is equals to U plus GT, S is equals to UT plus half GT square, and V square minus U square is equals to 2GS. You know that you don't have time, so you cannot pick the first one, you cannot pick the second one, because you don't have time for these formulas, and you have the third one to be picked. Okay, let's use the third one. I'm picking that V square minus U square is equals to 2GS. What is V? Final velocity. We need to find. Minus is minus only. What is U? It is 0. Square equals to is equal to 2 is 2. G is what? 9.8 meter per second square. And what is S? It is also given as 19.6 meters. It's given in the question, so I am writing down here 19.6 meters. Since you need to find out that, I know that when you do the 0 square, it will be 0 and it is just gone, and equal to is equal to only, and you are left with this 2 into 9.8 into 19.6. Now that you need to find v square, I'm doing a very simple calculation over here. Multiply 2 into 9.8, you will get 19.6, and you have 19.6 already waiting. Okay, so you do one thing, you can write 19.6 and 19.6 as 19.6 whole square, and you know that when you send this square this side, it will become a root 19.6 square, and this root will get cancelled, and you are left with v is equals to 19.6 meter per second. This is the maximum velocity by which the ball falls down. I hope you understood the question, and let's just move on to the next question again. Next question we have is the 15th one, and this 15th question is a stone thrown vertically upward with an initial velocity of 40 meter per second. This question seems to be exactly how we solved the previous one. That is 13th one, right? Let me take the ball over here. We have the shapes. Let me take the ball. Ball is thrown vertically upwards, so I am taking two balls. That one ball should represent that ball was at the ground, and the other ball represent the ball climbed up. So the first state of motion will be at the ground. Let me choose another color. We have this first state of motion, and this is the second state of motion. So initially, when the ball was at the ground, this velocity we can consider it as initial velocity. U is equals to, how much is the velocity? 40 meter per second. See, people, you should not get confused like what velocity is this? Is it initial or final? See, I'll ask you something. Can you throw something with zero velocity? No, you can't throw anything with zero velocity. You need to have maximum velocity by which it is thrown. It will be final velocity in this case, which is zero. Your ball will climb up to the maximum height, and it will fall back again when the velocity is zero. Velocity of the ball will continuously decrease if the ball is thrown vertically upward. So here the final velocity we can write up as v equals to 0. Initial velocity is u is 40 meter per second, and now you know that he's asking you, urging you to take g as 10 meter per second square. I'm taking minus 10 because when you throw something, when you throw something, it goes up, but the acceleration due to gravity acts in opposite direction. So I'm writing up minus 10 meter per second square as the acceleration due to gravity. We need to find the maximum height reached by the stone and what is the net displacement and the total distance covered. So we have three questions over here. Max height, right? This is the maximum height. You can take it as S is equals to question mark. And second bit, he says what is the total displacement if the ball climbs up and come back? What is the total displacement? Total displacement when it returns the ground, till it returns the ground. Okay, and the third bit is he asks you to find total distance. Right, firstly, right, in the easiest sense, if you just know the concept of displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position, and when he wants the displacement between the first point and the top position and reaching to the ground again at the same point. If initial is the same, final is the same, the ball reaching the same position, the total displacement will be 0, right? Here only, without solving the problem, we've got the value of displacement to be 0. And this total displacement, total distance, the third one will be the double of the height. That's it, easy. Let's now find the height then. The only question for us is to find the height. Let's use the formulas we have. V is equals to u plus gt. This is not suitable because you don't have height in the formula. S is equals to ut plus half gt square. Okay, you have the height, but you don't have the time here. So which formula is suitable? V square minus u square is equals to 2gs. Sounds good here. V square minus u square is equals to 2gs. And what is v, you tell me? V is the final velocity. I know, of course, it is going to be 0, and minus is minus only. What is u, initial velocity, which is 40 meter per second. I'm writing up here. Square, don't forget that, and don't forget to write the values in bracket and read the question and read the answers while writing mathematical expressions. It will be better if you read and write 2. Equal to is equal to only, 2 is 2 only. What is g? Acceleration due to gravity, minus 10 meter per second square. What is s? We have to find. 0 is just gone, and this minus is outside the bracket, so minus will remain, and 40 square will be 40 into 40, no problem. Plus and minus will become minus, and this minus will be out, and 2 tens will be 20. you can do easily, right? S. You need to find S, so you can just do one thing is cancel this minus got cancelled, 0 0 get cancelled, 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. This cancellation from the LHS and RHS is only possible if all the expression here and here are in multiplication, right? So now you are left with is 2 into 40, which is 80, and you are left here is with S. S is equals to 80 meters. This is the height, to maximum height the ball is going to climb. And you have two questions coming up here. The second bit says find the total displacement. Total displacement, I'm going to write up here. Total displacement is equals to displacement for climbing up, positive S, displacement for climbing down, negative S, plus 80 minus 80 equals to 0. Let me erase this malfunction. Okay, plus 80 minus 80 will become 0. Total displacement, as we have already learned, is 0. Third bit is total distance. Total distance, I mean distance is a scalar quantity, am I right or not? Distance is a scalar quantity, so you don't have to consider the direction, as you have considered minus as the ball was coming down and you measure the displacement to be down. It was minus because displacement is a vector quantity, you know that, right? So it will consider direction also, but here in the distance it won't consider direction. Distance climb up, distance climb down, S plus S, 80 plus 80 is 160 meters. Moving on to the next question, we have 16th question, and this 16th question is about calculating the gravitational force between Earth and the Sun. This is very interesting to learn, right? We are going to calculate the attraction force between Earth and the Sun, right? So it is very easy to understand. The people who have already learned the gravitation, the Earth and the Moon have the gravitation force existing among themselves. Even though they are so much far apart from each other, they both have the gravitational pull. Alright, let me take the Earth and the Sun. We have Earth and the Sun here, and let me take the different size. As you already know, the size of the Sun is very big. I'm taking this as Sun, and here is Earth. Okay, let me just write down the masses. Right, you know the mass of the Earth is, I'm writing up here, mass of the Sun. I'm taking mass of the Sun as m1. How much given? 2 into 10 power 30 kg. Right, easy to remember. 2 into 10 power 30 kg. It's so huge, it's very huge. And here we have mass of the Earth. I'm writing mass of the Earth as m2. m2 is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. You have these masses, and this Earth is actually separated by the distance. Right? These two bodies are separated by the distance of 1.5 into 10 power 11 meters. So what's the value? Let me write up the value here. They are separated from the center of the Earth to the center of the mass of the Sun, center of the Sun. The distance among them is 1.5 into 10 power 11 meters. Okay, that's great. Now we need to find out the gravitational force among these two bodies, and you know the formula. Gravitation force not only depends upon the product of the masses, but also depends on the square times of distance between them. So I'm writing up the formula. F is equals to capital G m1 m2 by d square. You know gravitation constant value, capital G is equals to 6.7 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, let's substitute the values in the formula. Formula given again, F is equals to capital G m1 m2 by d square. F is equals to capital G is 6.7 into 10 power minus 11. M1 mass of the Sun, how much? 2 into 10 power 30 into M2, 6 into 10 power 24, right? In denominator we have distance, which is 1.5 into 10 power 11. Since the distance is in square times, I'm writing up this in this sense. That will be much easier for you. F is equals to, the easiest way to solve such problem is just ignore the tens. I mean bring them all at the one side. Bring the numbers at the other side. I will write down 6.7 into 2 into 6. 6.7 into 2 into 6. Just a second. My pen is not working properly. Okay. Now I have is powers tens. If you look at that, let me resolve these powers. I have 10 power minus 11, 10 power 30, 10 power 24. Bases are same, power must be added. When you add this 30 and 24, it will be 54, and when you subtract 54 minus 11, you should get is 43, right? I'm writing down here 10 power minus 10 power plus 43. Okay, great. You have here 1.5 into 1.5, because I'm bringing this 1.5 the one side and the powers at the other side. It will be 10 power 11 and 11. Bases are same, power must be added. This 11 and 11 will get added to 22. Now you have is F is equals to, do one thing, just multiply this 2 into 6.7. It will become 6.7 into 2 into 6 is 12 into 10 power 43. You do one thing, just bring this 10 power 22 over the top. You know, when the powers are in denominators and if they are positive, it will turns out to be negative. And when you add them, and the bases will be like 43 into 10 power minus 22. Bases are same, power can be added. 43 minus 22 will be what? It is nothing but going to be 21. Alright, so I'm going to write down here 10 power 21. Down in denominators, you have 1.5 into 1.5. See, I have a best method to solve this equation in the very easiest way. What I'm gonna do is, I want to make this 1.5 and 1.5, I want to remove the decimal. In a very simplest sense, I can do that. How? You know, I can multiply it with 2 in numerator and in denominator. Let me take a, I can use this 2 in numerator and 2 in denominator. If you multiply this 2 with this 1.5, you will get 3. Alright, you will turn out this, you can change this denominator from 1.5 to 3 by multiplying with 2. But you have since 1.5 twice, I'm doing it twice. What I'm doing, I'm multiplying and dividing the same function with 2 into 2 and 2 into 2. What will happen with this? 6.7 as it is, 12 is 12 as it is, 2 2s are what? 4 as it is, 10 power 21 remaining. I can do what? 1.5 into 2 is 3, and then again 1.5 into 2 is 3. Now this number is a whole number and easily can be calculated, right? Now I have this, I can cancel it. 3 1s are 3, 3 4s are 12. Let me use the another color, right? And what we have is, we can further cancel it like this. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6, right? What is the value remaining? 1. 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9. It will just continue this way. So you can end up writing 2.23. So let me take the fresh place because there is no place here. I'm taking F is equals to, let me go back and check. Values are 2.23 into 4 into 4 into 21. 2.23 into 4 into 4 into 10 power 21 by nothing there. Everything is cancelled. Check out again. 3 is cancelled, 3 is cancelled. 1 into 1 is just 1. No need to worry. Now you need to just multiply it. Do one thing, multiply this 4 into 4, it will be 16, and you need to multiply 2.23 into 16. Let me do that. 16 into 2.23. Let me use the different color. 3 6 are 18, 1 carry. 3 1s are 3 plus 1, 4. And then I have 2, 2 6 are 12, 1 carry. 2 1s are 2 plus 1, 4. 2 1s are 2 plus 1, 3. And we have another digit. 2 6 are 12, 2, 1 carry. 2 1s are 2 plus 1, 3. Write down 8. 4 plus 2, 4 plus 2 is 6, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 3 is 3 only. You got the values finally. 3, 5, 6, 8 into 10 power 21. Remember, don't forget to write down the decimal, and that decimal was after 2 decimals. After 2 digits, the decimal was, I'm writing down here as this. Okay, so F is equals to, now you can do one thing, right? You can move the point towards the left side, as the values given in the textbook is 3.568. Since you have reduced one of the tens, you can increase that tens here and it will become 10 power 22. This is the force between Earth and the Sun. which is 3.568 into 10 power 22. If you ask me what this gravitation force means, this is actually weight of the earth on sun. It is like you measuring the weight of the earth over the sun by placing the scale, and this measuring scale will end up giving you 3.568 into 10 power 22 newtons, which is nothing but a very huge value. I hope you understood it. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the another one. Welcome back. We have question number 17 to be solved, and let me remind you this question belonging to the exercise gravitation. And okay, let's not waste time, let's just go on to the problem. Problem says a stone is allowed to fall from the top of the tower. We need a tower to be drawn. Let me draw a tower. And here we have is the tower, and here is the ground we have. Okay, now a stone is falling from the tower. If the stone is falling, we need to take up the stone. Let me take a small stone. If something falls down now, it will fall down to the ground, and we are taking two stones. One is from the top falling down to the bottom. Let me just take them in different sizes. I have, okay, now I have, if you read the question, the stone is falling from the height of 100 meters. So height is equals to 100 meters, remember that. And you have is another stone falling being thrown, projected vertically upwards. That means if the stone is thrown vertically upward, that stone is going to move upward, right? Let me take them in a different size again. I have this stone. Okay, I'm sorry, let me take the stone again. This is malfunction. Okay, now good, great. I took the stone down. This stone is at the same time being thrown. When this stone is about to fall from the top, this stone is thrown from the bottom, right? Let me draw the arrow as this stone is climbing up, and this stone is falling down. Okay, let me draw the arrow for the clear indication to you. This stone is falling down, and this stone is actually being thrown, projected upward. We don't know how far this stone going to climb, whether it is going to climb over the top of the tower or it's not going to climb. Let's see in the question. So I will write the data separately. When the stone is falling from the top, the first stone initial velocity will be 0, because anything falls down with 0 velocity, and it will reach down with the ground with maximum velocity. So here final velocity will be maximum. We don't know, right? Let me write them all in one's case, u1, v1, and total height is I can write it as s1. Okay, and when you throw something from the bottom, you can never throw anything with 0 velocity. Here is the velocity given. This is 25 meter per second. So green color I will use for second data. I am writing out initial velocity u2 is nothing but 25 meter per second. Great. Now in the first case, g value is acting as minus 9.8. For simpler calculation, the textbook took the value as 10, but we unless it is defined in the question, you should always take it as 9.8 only. Better is to take 9.8 in my observation or in my sense. Okay, let me write that 9.8 meter per second square. The g1 for the first case is plus, but the g for the second case will be minus 9.8, because it is acting opposite. You know that already, because we have been solving the problems and we took the g value and these cases previously as well. Now you need to understand a case. See, what's that case? I'll tell you. The total height is 100 meters. Okay, if this is total is 100 meters, and if suppose this the second ball has climbed up x meters, then this height will be, the remaining height will be 100 minus x. Agree what I said? If this total height is 100, okay, and the height climbed up by the second ball is x meters, okay, let me erase the meter, there is no need here, x, then the total, the remaining height will be 100 minus x. Okay, good. Now let me jump to the problem again. Remember these all cases. We have first case. Let me write down. We need to actually find out at what time these two stones going to meet. So we need time. So the time will be actually common for them, because if something is falling down and something is being thrown up, for the both of them, T1 and T2 will be common, right? Same, I need to find T1 T2, nothing but what? T question mark. So let me write the given data. I have already written the given data, but let's write the given data for initial ball. The first ball, initial velocity. This is going to be a little bigger, because you know there are two balls. Initial velocity u1 is equals to 0, and we have final velocity, and that's v1 is equals to maximum. We don't know that, right? And we have g value for the first case, 9.8 meter per second square, and we have total height of, you know, s1 as 100 meters. Okay, now see, we don't have to find the total height, which is already given. We actually need to find out this distance. Alright, this top ball is going to cover out this distance from the top, and this bottom ball is going to cover out this distance from the bottom. So we will take s1 as 100 minus x. So I'm going to write out here, it is 100 minus x. Alright, let me write the given data for the second ball. Okay, second ball, we have initial velocity, given initial velocity u2 is equals to 25 meter per second, and we have final velocity will be v2 equals to 0, because this ball will climb up the maximum height and will become 0. But we don't have to take this, because we don't know whether these two balls will you know, meet at this time when the velocity becomes 0 or not. So we don't have to write that. G value, of course we need to write, it's minus 9.8 meter per second square, and s2 distance covered will be x. S2 distance covered will be x. I hope you understood it. This is the distance you know, being covered by the second ball, and this is the distance covered by the first ball. So I wrote first ball's distance, second ball's distance. Let me take the fresh page. I hope you understood it. Remember the data. I have to solve the problem according to the data available. Okay, we have formulas. S is equals to ut plus half at square, half gt square. You know, we are doing it for the first ball, so let me write everything for the first ball only. S1 is what we know already. How much is that? Which is 100 minus x. I am writing out 100 minus x equals to u1. What is u1? Initial velocity of the first ball. Let me show you. Initial velocity of the first ball is 0, and s1 was 100 meter, 100 minus x. Okay, this is not s1, this is the total height. Okay, moving back to the you know, fresh page. S1 is 100 minus x, u1 is initial velocity 0, t1 is we have to find, plus is plus only, half is half only, and g value is plus 9.8 for the first ball, t is we have to find, and it is t square. You know, 100 minus x will be 100 minus x only, 0 into something is just gone, right? You know, 0 is something which makes the other 0, don't mess with 0, okay? It was not so funny, but 1 by 2 into 9.8, I can do one thing, I can cancel it. 9 ones are 9, 9 4s are, sorry, 2 ones are 2, 2 4s are 8. I am left with one value, 2 9s are 18. So what I'll be left with is 4.9. 4.9 into t square. You know, we need to find t value, and we haven't got anything here. Just do one thing, take it as first equation. Let's solve the second equation, then you will come to know why are we using in this sense. We have two unknown variables, so we cannot solve this equation until you have one of the variables value. So we will take it from the second one. S2 is equals to u2 t2 plus half gt t2 square, right? You know that the time taken for both the bodies is same. T2 is equals to t1 is equals to t only, right? So I am not going to write down t2, I will only write t. What is S2? S2 is the distance traveled by first, second ball. Let me show you. The distance traveled by the second ball is x, right? We already know that. Let me write down here. It is x equals to, right, u2. What is the initial velocity of the second ball? It is 25 meter per second. Have a look. 25. Very good. Come back. into t2. T2 is we have to find, plus half is half only. G value, remember it's 9 minus 9.8. T value is again t square, no need to worry. X is equals to 25t, is 25t only, plus you can cancel it, 2 1s are 2, 4.9s are it, which is plus and minus will become minus over here, so I have to write minus 4.9 t square. You got the x value. Take it as second equation, substitute this x value over in the first equation, okay, which is, I'm writing substituting x in equation 1, right? What's the equation 1? 100 minus x is equals to 4.9 into t square. 100 minus, what is x? X is 25t minus 4.9 t square. Remember to write down in bracket 25t minus 4.9 t square, right? Bracket close, equal to is equals to only 4.9 is 4.9 t square. Now you do one thing, 100 minus into plus will become minus 25t, minus into minus will become plus 4.9 t square. Bring this minus 4 plus 4.9 t square here, it will become minus 4.9 t square, and you are left with nothing that side, which is 0. Now you know it, right? 100 is 100 only, minus 25 is no problem with that, but plus 4.9 and minus 4.9, they hate each other, they cancelled each other, and you got 0, right? Send this minus 25 that side, it will become 100 minus 20, 100 equals to 25t. You wanted t value, right? 25 1s are 25, 25 4s are 100. T is equals to 4 seconds. What is this time? This is the time taken for the ball 1 and the ball 2 to meet at, when the ball is falling from the top, then this ball is falling from thrown from the bottom. These two guys gonna meet at 4 seconds, right? Great. If you're done, we have another problem. I mean, we need to find out at what distance do they going to meet, right? Are they going to meet? Let me just move on to the next page. I hope you're done. Let's go on to the next page. We need to calculate s. Remember, see, we need to calculate s, I mean the distance at which these two guys going to meet. You have two equations to take. Whatever the equation you take, you substitute time value in it and find out the x value. I am choosing the first equation, 100 minus x equals to 4.9 t square, right? Let me go to the next page. 100 minus x is equals to 4.9 t square. 100 is 100 only, minus x is we have to find, 4.9 is 4.9. Time is 4 seconds, so I'm writing it square means 4 into 4, right? Okay, do one thing, 100 minus x is equals to 4.9 into 16, right? Now, you can do one thing is you can multiply this 4.9 into 16 and you can send the 100 that side, right? Easy. So I'm doing what, I have x in minus, so I'll send this x that side and bring this 4.9 into 16 this side, right? So I'm doing it here, 100 minus 4.9 into 16 is equals to x. So x becomes positive. You have this value to multiply, please do it. How can I do it? You see, 4.9 into 16, 6 9s are 54, 5 carry, right? 6 4s are 24 plus 4, 29, and you have 1 9s are 9, 1 4s are 4, 4 is 4 only, 9 9s are 80, 1 carry, 3 plus 4 is 7, 74. I'm writing out here 100 minus 7, 84. Okay, so you don't forget the decimal. Decimal is after 1 digit, so I'm writing it decimal after 1 digit is equals to x. 100 minus 7.78.4. So I'm doing it 100 minus 78.4. If nothing is there over the decimal, you can write 0. If borrow is taken from here, this has become 10, this has become again 9, and then borrow is here, and then the borrow is here. 10 minus 4 is 6, 9 minus 8 is 1, and 9 minus 7 is 2. The value is x is equals to 21.6 meters. That means when the ball is, the ball is falling from the top, and this ball is thrown from the bottom. From the bottom, after 21 meters, this ball is going to meet. Let me go to the page. Remember the value 21.6. When this ball is thrown from the bottom, after 21.6 meters, this ball going to meet. That is from the top, it is 78.4 meters. I hope you understood it very well. यानी ऊपर से जब आ रहा है तो 78.4 मीटर्स कवर करने के बाद दो बॉल मीट होने वाले हैं, यानी अगर हम नीचे से मेजर करते हैं तो वो 21.6 होगा. आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड इट वेल. And we have is the last problem of this series. Okay, let's just go on to the last problem, 18th one. Moving on to the next question, we have 18th question from the exercise gravitation. We have a ball thrown vertically upwards, returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. So you can take the balls. Let me take the shape. Here is the shape. I have the ball, and the another ball I have is this. If this ball is going to fall back, the total displacement will be 0, of course. Okay, let me draw it smaller a bit. Okay, this is the same ball. Yeah, these are the same balls. The ball has started its journey from the ground, reaching to the top, and will return back again. So I will only consider the half situation, and then we can find out everything, right? The first state of motion, the ball was at ground, so this will be initial velocity. Let me write initial velocity is equals to. Question for you, everybody. Pause the video and tell me, can you throw something with zero velocity? Can you throw something with zero velocity? Please write down in the comment box and tell me whether can you throw something with zero velocity or not. Right? Okay, I hope you understood it. Initial velocity will never be zero. I mean, initial velocity when the ball is thrown up will never be zero. It is maximum. You have to throw it with the maximum velocity. Okay, come back. Initial velocity is maximum, and final velocity when it reaches the top, again you know it, v is equals to 0. चलो इस वीडियो को हम पूरा हिंदी में करते हैं. द मैक्सिमम हाइट वो रीच करेगा, क्योंकि देखो जब हम बॉल को फेंकते हैं तो बहुत मैक्सिमम वेलोसिटी से फेंकने के पर ही वो ऊपर जाएगा, ऊंचाई पे जाएगा. और क्योंकि ग्रेविटी, एक्सीलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी नीचे एक्ट करती है, यानी -9.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड होता सेकेंड स्क्वायर होता है, तब वो ऑब्जेक्ट की फाइनल वेलोसिटी डिक्रीज होते होते 0 हो जाएगी और वो मैक्सिमम हाइट कवर कर लेगा. ओके, तो हमें क्या पता करना है? हमें पता करना है कि किस वेलोसिटी से उसे फेंका गया है, और टाइम यहाँ पर दिया गया है ये 6 सेकेंड, यानी 6 सेकेंड टाइम दिया गया है, 6 सेकेंड्स. ऑलराइट, वी हैव 3 क्वेश्चंस कमिंग अप. व्हाट इज द वेलोसिटी बाय विच इट इज थ्रोन अप, एंड ऑब्वियसली इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी 0. और मैक्सिमम हाइट कितनी होगी? मैक्सिमम हाइट s कितना होगा, और पोजीशन यानी 4 सेकेंड बाद वो किस पोजीशन पे होगा. यानी बॉल देखिए ऊपर जा रहा था, है ना, बॉल देखिए ऊपर जा रहा था, ऊपर जाएगा, फिर ऊपर जाकर नीचे आएगा, पता नहीं कितने सेकंड में ऊपर जाएगा, फिर कितने सेकंड बाद नीचे आएगा. तो अगर 4th सेकंड पे वो नीचे आता है तो नीचे कौन से पोजीशन पे होगा वो हमें पता करना है. यानी हमें ऐसे ही पता करना है. कब? जब टाइम हो 4 सेकेंड्स. 4 सेकेंड्स के बाद कितना डिपोजिशन होता है, कितना डिस्प्लेसमेंट होता है. हमारे लिए फॉर्मूलाज है s इज इक्वल्स टू ut प्लस हाफ gt स्क्वायर, और हमारे लिए दूसरा फॉर्मूला बनता है v स्क्वायर माइनस u स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 2gs. देखिए हमें क्या पता करना है, क्वेश्चन है हमारे लिए, हमें क्या पता करना है? हमें u पता करना है, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी पता करना है ना. तो हमारे पास हाइट भी नहीं है, मैक्सिमम हाइट, तो हमारे पास फर्स्ट फॉर्मूला है v इज इक्वल्स टू u प्लस gt. यहाँ से हम पता कर सकते हैं. लेट मी राइट द फॉर्मूला अगेन. v इज इक्वल्स टू u प्लस gt. v क्या है बच्चों? इनिशियल वेलोसिटी 0 होता है, फाइनल वेलोसिटी. v क्या है? फाइनल वेलोसिटी इक्वल टू इनिशियल वेलोसिटी, तो हमें पता करना है प्लस का प्लस, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी -9.8 होगा. टाइम क्या दिया गया है? 6 सेकंड, पता है ना. 6 सेकंड किसके लिए बेटे? 6 सेकंड ऑब्जेक्ट को ऊपर जाने के लिए, फिर वापस आने के लिए बनता है. तो 6/2 लेना चाहिए ना हमें टाइम, क्योंकि वो हम सिर्फ केस कंसिडर कर रहे हैं ऊपर जाने का, इसीलिए हम लेते हैं टाइम 3 सेकेंड. देखो आप, रिटर्न्स टू द थ्रो 6 सेकंड में वापस आ जाता है, मतलब 3 सेकंड लगते हैं उसे ऊपर जाने के लिए. अब बताइए क्या करें? 0 का 0 लिख देते हैं, u का u, और प्लस और माइनस माइनस हो जाएगा. 3 × 9.8 करना ही पड़ेगा. 3 8s 24, 4 here, 2 here, 3 9s 27 प्लस 2 29.4. 29.4 को उधर भेज दीजिए, माइनस जाकर प्लस हो जाएगा. u इज इक्वल्स टू प्लस 29.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड. ये हमारी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी आ गई है. अभी हमें क्या पता करना है? देखिए s पता करना है. s कब पता करना है? हमें पता करना है जब वो मैक्सिमम हाइट रीच करेगा. तो उसके लिए आप ये फार्मूला यूज़ कर सकते हो, जिसमें टाइम को 3 लगा सकते हैं, 3 सेकेंड्स में ऊपर जा रहा है, या आप ये भी फार्मूला यूज़ कर सकते हो. जो भी आपको इजी लगे आप यूज़ करिएगा. मैं क्या करता हूँ, देखिए v स्क्वायर माइनस u स्क्वायर ले लूँगा 2gs, क्योंकि मैं नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम में वो वाला फार्मूला यूज़ कर लूँगा, ताकि आप सारे के सारे फार्मूला को यूज़ करने की ट्रिक जान जाओ. वी स्क्वायर कितना बनता है, 0 है वी, और यू कितना है आपका 29.4 होल स्क्वायर. आई एम राइटिंग डाउन हियर 29.4 into 29.4, right? Every time you know me that I don't write squares like that. I write them in product. Right? Equal to का equal to 2 का 2 है. G कितना है बच्चों, -9.8, भूलिएगा नहीं, और यहाँ पर मेरे पास स्पेस नहीं बनती है, S मल्टीप्लीकेशन में आता है. 0 is gone, just gone. 29.4 into 29.4 equals to, भूलिएगा मत कि माइनस बाहर है, इसका स्क्वायर नहीं होगा, है ना. अच्छा, ये माइनस बाहर आ जाता है और माइनस कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. 2 into 9.8 बच जाएगा into S. चलो माइनस कैंसिल कर देते हैं, कर दिया, है ना. अभी क्या करिए, ये प्रोडक्ट में जो भी होगा उन सारों को डिनोमिनेटर में भेज दिया गया. क्यों रखते हो अपने पास, हमें S चाहिए, है ना. S is equals to, right, let me choose the another color, I'm not liking it much. S is equals to 29.4 into 29.4 by 2 into 9.8. देखिए, हमें डेसिमल नहीं चाहिए, हमें डेसिमल पसंद ही नहीं है. हम ये डेसिमल को काटेंगे, ये डेसिमल को काटेंगे, यानी एक नंबर बाद एक नंबर दोनों डेसिमल कट जाएंगे. वरना आप इजी मेथड करिएगा, एक नंबर बाद का डेसिमल को हटाने के लिए ऊपर 10 लगाइएगा, नीचे का इसका हटाने के लिए नीचे 10 लगाइएगा. वो 10 ये 10 कैंसिल हो जाएगा, है ना. चलो लगा ही देते हैं. यहाँ के लिए हटाने के लिए हम 10 ऊपर लगाया और पॉइंट हमने हटा दिया. ऊपर का इधर का हटाने हमने 10 नीचे लगाया और यहाँ का पॉइंट हटा दिया. यहाँ का भी पॉइंट हटा दो और नीचे 10 लगा दो. ठीक है, ये 10 कैंसिल हो जाता है. अब हमारे पास क्या बनता है, S is equals to 294 into 294 by 2 into 9.8. 9.8 चले जाकर बनता है 98 into 10. ठीक है, कैंसिल करिएगा, है ना. कैंसिल किस तरीके से कर सकते हैं आप, बहुत इजी मेथड है. पहले 2 के टेबल से आप काट दीजिएगा. 2 1 जा 2, 2 1 जा 2, 2 4 जा 8, 1 बचता है, 2 7 जा 14, है ना. कट गया, राइट, वेरी गुड. अभी आप क्या कर सकते हो, देखिए 9.8 है आपके पास. क्या 294 9.8 के टेबल में आता है, चलिए देखते हैं. 98 इंटू हम 3 कर देखते हैं. 3 8 जा 27 बन जाएगा. 3 8 जा 24, 2 कैरी, 3 9 जा 27 प्लस 2 बनता है 294. सो हम काट देते हैं. 98 1 जा 98 3 जा. ओके, आपके पास क्या बनता है, 147 इंटू 3. चलिए लिख दीजिए, S is equals to 147 इंटू 3. बिफोर दैट यहाँ मल्टीप्लीकेशन ही कर दीजिएगा. 147 इंटू 3, 3 7 जा 21, 2 कैरी, 3 4 जा 12 प्लस 2 होते हैं 14, 1 कैरी, 3 1 जा 3 प्लस 1 होता है 4. क्या बनेगा, 441 by 10, which is nothing but 44.1 meters. I hope you understood that how we calculated the distance. Actually ये है क्या, ये है मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस जो बॉल ने ली है ऊपर जाने के लिए, है ना. पर अभी हमें क्या चाहिए, 4 सेकंड बाद वो बॉल जो ऊपर जाकर नीचे आ रहा है वो कहाँ होगा. देखिए कितनी सिंपल बात है. 3 सेकंड अगर लगते हैं उसको ऊपर जाने के लिए और 1 और सेकंड में वो नीचे ही हो जाएगा ना, मतलब ये डिस्टेंस कम हो जाएगी, है ना. अर्थ से अगर आप देखोगे तो मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस नहीं होगी. 4 सेकंड बाद वो थोड़ा नीचे आ जाएगा. चलो वो कैलकुलेट ही कर लेते हैं. उसके लिए मैं फ्रेश पेज लेता हूँ. लेट मी टेक द फ्रेश पेज. नाउ व्हाट इज द डेटा वी हैव. ठीक, देखिए हमें चाहिए S कब, एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम पर चाहिए ना. तो वो टाइम क्या है, हमें 4 सेकंड बाद चाहिए. तो हम देखिए दूसरा फार्मूला यूज नहीं कर सकते. हम यूज करना पड़ेगा ut प्लस हाफ AT स्क्वायर ही, हाफ GT स्क्वायर ही यूज करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हमको टाइम, स्पेसिफिक टाइम पे डिस्टेंस कितना है, वो पोजीशन क्या है पता करना है. अच्छा, u क्या है बताइए. u इनिशियल वेलोसिटी है. इनिशियल वेलोसिटी क्या होती है, क्या है हमारी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी, 29.4 मीटर्स है. चलो लिख दीजिए 29.4. बताओ टाइम क्या है आपके पास, 4 सेकेंड्स के लिए चाहिए. हाफ इज हाफ ओनली. और g क्या है, देखिए आपका बॉल कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा है, नीचे से ऊपर जा रहा है ना, तो माइनस लेना पड़ेगा. -9.8 इंटू t क्या है, टाइम. 4 स्क्वायर क्या बनता है, 16, है ना. ओके, चलो लिख देते हैं. S is equals to what I'm going to do is 2.94 into 4, right. Let me multiply. Either you can multiply or you can keep it in the same way. Let me write down in the same way first. Let me see whether I can get the same things again and over. Alright, I have is 9.8 into 16. Let me do that. 9.8 into 16. So देखिए 9.8 को मैं बनाना चाह रहा हूँ 2.29.4. अब कैसा बनाते हैं चलिए देखेंगे. मैं यहाँ लिखता हूँ, हम पहले के प्रॉब्लम में ही देख चुके हैं कि 29.4 इज 9.8 इंटू 3, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ 9.8 इंटू 3 करने पर आपको 29.4 मिलेगा। और यहाँ पर मैं 4 ऐसे ही लिख देता हूँ, 1/2 का 1/2 प्लस इंटू माइनस, यहाँ पर माइनस लिख देते हैं अंदर, है ना। तो ये माइनस इधर आ जाएगा, माइनस 1/2 इंटू 9.8 इंटू 16 को आप लिख सकते हो 4 इंटू 4, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। एस इज इक्वल, अब देखो क्या चीज़ कॉमन है, आप उसको कॉमन ले लीजिए। आप कैलकुलेशन को इजी बनाना चाहते हो, है ना, हार्ड ना मत बनाइएगा। 9.8 इंटू 4 आपने क्या ब्रैकेट के बाहर ले लेना है, या बचता क्या है आपके लिए 3, 1/2 इंटू 4, 2 1 ज़ा 2, 2 2 ज़ा 4, 3 माइनस 2 क्या बनता है, एस इज इक्वल्स टू 9.8 इंटू 4 इंटू 3 माइनस 2 क्या बनता है बताइए, 1। एस इज इक्वल्स टू 9.8 इंटू 4 कर दीजिएगा मल्टीप्लाई, इतना तो तकलीफ उठा ही लेना चाहिए। 4 8 ज़ा 32, तो मैं यहाँ पर 2 डालता हूँ और कैरी 3 लिख देता हूँ, है ना। 4 9 ज़ा कितने होते हैं, 36 प्लस 2 38, ठीक है। तो मेरे पास बनता है 38 मीटर्स, यानी कितने मीटर्स बाद वो क्या हो रहा है, 38.2 मीटर्स का देखिए वो पोजीशन होगी उसकी। कब, जब बॉल ऊपर जाएगा, 3 सेकंड ऊपर लेगा, फिर 1 सेकंड बाद और थोड़ा नीचे आएगा, तो ये जो पोजीशन होगी ज़मीन से कितनी होगी, ये पोजीशन होगी 38.2 मीटर्स की। उम्मीद करता हूँ ये वीडियो आपको बहुत पसंद आया होगा और आपने सारे प्रॉब्लम्स कर दिए होंगे। आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने सारी कंप्लीट वीडियो देखा। उम्मीद करता हूँ मेरे जो टेक्निकलिटीज़ है वो आपको समझ आई होगी, आपको प्रॉब्लम आसान दिखा होगा, आपको करने में मदद मिली होगी। अगर आप ऐसे ही वीडियोस चाहते हैं जो सीरीज़ में कोई प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करते हैं, तो प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को लाइक और शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करिए, और कमेंट में मुझे ज़रूर लिखकर बताइए कि आपको किस एक्सरसाइज के किस क्वेश्चंस चाहिए। थैंक यू सो मच। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।